All right, here we are, Chapter 3 opener. I want you to do the Chapter 3 opener on your own. It is, what page is this? I can't tell what page it is, but it's Chapter 3. It's the very beginning, multiplying and dividing decimals. There's a neat little cartoon about a dog. And this is what your page actually looks like right in your book. This is what you learned before. This is stuff you're already supposed to know, but I'm going to show you real quick how to do them just in case you don't remember. We've got to do multiplication, long division, and then we have to add and subtract. Okay, we're going to add and subtract decimals right away. We're not multiplying and dividing decimals yet, but we will during this chapter. Don't you worry. Okay, so if we want to start with the multiplication, which is what they start with, and we're just going to make up a problem. 342 times 28. I know you know how to do this, so you can watch it fast. If you don't know how to do it, watch carefully and watch it twice, because we need to make sure we understand how to do it. 8 times 2 is 16. You got to carry the 1. You write your 16 like this. 16 is 1 10 and 6 1s, so we got to keep those in our ones column and keep the tens in the tens column. 8 times 4 is 32. Plus the 110 is 33. That's actually 33 tens. So we're going to carry that 30 up here, and that stands for 300. 33 tens is 330. And then 8 times 3 is 24. 24 plus 3 is 27. And now we have to come down here and we have to hold a place value. So we put a 0 into the ones place because we're not multiplying here anymore. We're multiplying over here in the tens place, the 2 times the 2. So this is really 20 times 2. 20 times 2 is 40. We just put it in here like this as a 4. But notice it looks like a 40 because of the 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. And then we add 6 plus 0. 3 plus 4, 7 plus 8. Now here we have to carry again. We have to carry that 1 to the next place value, which happens to be the thousands place. 2 plus 6 is 8, plus that 1 is 9. So 9,576 should be our answer. And if we wanted to check and we just thought, well, what would 300 times 30 be? It would be a 9 with 1, 2, 3 zeros after, which is 9,000. And I got the 300 from 342, I rounded down, and I got the 30 from the 28, I rounded up, and 9,000 is my estimate. My answer is 9,576, so it makes sense. Okay, for long division, they give us something like 732 divided by 3. That means 3 goes into 732. Now we're not going to have a remainder. This one's going to come out even. I guessed, and I was lucky, but I can tell that it's going to come out even. And we'll probably figure out what to do using decimals as we move forward. And some of you guys learned this last year, so that's great news. So it should be an easy chapter. 3 goes into 7 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. And we subtract 700, take away 600, leaves 100. And we're going to bring down our 3. 3 goes into 13 4 times. 4 times 3 is 12. And we're going to subtract 13 tens, take away 12 tens, leaves 1 10. And then I'm going to bring down my 2. That's 12. 3 goes into 12 exactly 4 times. 3 times 4 is 12. There's no remainder. 3 goes into 732 244 times. So you could think 244 times 2 equals 732. And if you just did 250 times 2, times 3. Look at that. 250 times 2 would only be 500. So that wasn't going to make any sense. It's a good thing. Once in a while you check your work and you check it wrong. Sometimes that's just what happens. Okay, so if we were to just estimate 250 times 3, that's like 250 plus 250, which is 500, plus 250, which would be 750. And that's a pretty close estimate. Our actual answer makes more sense, but it feels like we did it right. Okay, so that's those two kinds of problems. Now we have the adding and subtracting decimals. Say we have 3.2 plus 2.04. Now when we add these up, when we add decimals, we have to line up the decimals. So the 3.2 plus 2.04. And we might find that it's smart to just go ahead and put a 0 here as a place value holder. Now this stands for 3 ones, and this stands for 2 ones. So this is the ones place, and it makes sense to line them up. Okay, whoops. And the tenths place is here. There is nothing in the tenths place, but it still makes sense to line it up with the 2. And this has the hundredths place. Now there's nothing in the hundredths place up here. You could actually add your own 0 and it doesn't change. 3.2 is the same as 3.20. And it's important to add this in. 0 plus 4, 2 plus 0. Carry your decimals straight down and keep everything lined up. 6.24 should be your answer. The same kind of thing happens with subtraction. 3.07 minus 2.952. Now when you do something like this, the first number is the one on top, 3.07. The second number is always the one on the bottom. And you have to line things up again. And again, you have to hold that place if there is a need for it. This time we're subtracting. And we're going to have to do some borrowing in this one. You can't take 2 away from 0. So I have to borrow from the 7, borrow a 10 from the 7. 10 take away 2 is 8. 6 take away 5 is 1. I can't borrow from the 0, so I'm going to borrow from, or I can't subtract 9 from 0, so I'm going to borrow from the 3 ones, and we'll make it 2 ones, and 10 tenths. 10 tenths take away 9 is 1 tenth, and 2 take away 2 is 0. So this is our answer. We have to make sure we add place values if we need to, or add placeholders, a 0 at the end to make everything line up, make sure everything lines up, bring our decimals straight down in these types of problems. When we multiply decimals, we won't be doing that. But when we add and subtract them, everything has to line up by place value. And then it's just a simple work through the problems. Okay. You guys enjoy doing math class today. Hopefully this is an at-home assignment. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to have you do this, but I think I'd like you to do this at home. And, ooh, wow, those are quite the years. Do these at home, and we'll go ahead and do the next assignment the next day. That should move faster. Hopefully that works for you. I'm not sure. There we go. Stop the recording before we go any longer.